Hey everyone, welcome back to Coffee, Cocktails, and Capitalism. I'm Captain Morgan of Beyond the Trend Marketing, and today I am joined by someone who just made me a really delicious cocktail, Anna Valencia Tillery of White Glove Moving and Storage.
Hi there. I am thrilled not only to be here, also with your name. Your assigned title, Captain Morgan, is so clever. It is delightfully clever.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
So I always tell people I can't take any credit for it. When I was working in Chicago, a bunch of my clients started calling me that because apparently I was rather bossy or told them what to do or however you want to describe it.
Getting the job done.
Getting the job done, right? They're like, ha, 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 whatever you say, Captain. You just tell me what to do. You're the captain, Captain Morgan, ha, ha, ha. Anyway, which is funny because I don't even drink like Captain Morgan of all the drinks in the world.
I just thought maybe it was your favorite.
No. So... yeah. Anyway, so it's just kind of stuck. People like it. So
I like it a lot.
Here we are. Mm-hmm. Yes. Don't ask me to actually captain you across the sea, though. That might be treacherous.
Touché. Yeah. Nor would I go.
You're like, I'm staying out of that ship.
Yeah, honey.
But speaking of transportation,
yes.
You are kind of an expert in transporting the people and the things.
And the things, yep.
How long have you been working with White Glove?
I am approaching 13 years, a baker's dozen with the team.
That is so impressive. Round of applause.
I do love all my boys.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And they are very lucky to have you, if I may say.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah.
So I think most people in our community know you a little bit, peripherally at least. And they probably know that you work with White Glove. But I like to go back to the origins of individuals. So tell me kind of where you were born, raised. What was Anna's beginning like?
Well, if you've heard of a town named Detroit.
Yes, we may know that one.
Yeah. I hail from Detroit, Michigan, and not from the best part of Detroit. I am originally from 8 Mile and 75.
Oh, my gosh.
And it didn't take long for my mom to wake up after a terrible incident right on the corner of our block and say, we are moving to the country. And it was the same year that the scary movie, Children of the Corn, had come out.
No.
And she moved us to the cornfields. It was like, I would rather stay in Detroit.
How old were you at this time?
I was entering 5th grade.
Okay. So old enough to have seen the movie and to understand how terrifying it could be. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Well, obviously, I'm traumatized to this day. I was like, you can't make me go outside.
Oh, my God.
You just can't.
Brutal.
But it was the best thing that could have obviously happened. We moved to a great town called Lapeer, and I was there until my first husband and I found Vero. In fact, we started actively marketing towards Florida, actually on the other side of the state, with a industrial painting and stucco company.
Okay.
We specialized in complete automotive makeovers for car dealerships and shops. Obviously, having been from Detroit, auto is in our bloodline.
Yeah, absolutely. You understood the industry,
yes. Mm-hmm.
what their needs would be.
And yet, I really felt as though seasonal depression was a real thing. Mm-hmm. And I was desperate to get to Florida. We had come a few times on visits and, of course, on my spring break and different things like that. Mm-hmm. So we ended up making a concentrated effort to come down here. And a dear friend of mine was living on this side of the state in Jupiter. So we were in Tampa, took State Road 60 across, and it got really dark. And at that time, which is now 21 years ago.
Oh, my God.
So I've been here more than half of my life.
So you moved here as a fetus is what you're saying.
It's so sweet. So sweet. Cafe Caride was still open on US 1.
I don't know what that is.
It's now, well, it had been like Chef Lynn's, and now I think it's Golden Corral. But it was like this super cool outdoor, indoor tiki bar kind of restaurant experience.
Okay.
And so it was the dead of night, and there was no way we were making it to my girlfriend's house in any sort of time. And so I said, let's pull over. This looks so interesting. We can get a hotel room and then go see her in the morning, right? Spend the weekend with her.
Okay.
So we walk in, and it was an '04. And the hurricanes had hit, the back-to-back hurricanes here. And we ran into people from our hometown that were contractors.
Oh my gosh.
And they were doing jobs. They were doing roofing and different things. And they were like, you guys should stay. There's so much work that needs to be done. And I said, what are you talking about? You know, it's so dark. I couldn't see the fact that all US 1 was draped with blue tarps. So come morning, we wake up at the Howard Johnson.
Of course.
And because it's right across the street.
It's right there in the middle of it all.
And needless to say, I did shut down Cafe Carib that night, if you were wondering.
We were concerned. Yes. Who was going to do that? Oh, Anna will do that. Don't worry. Yes.
And I've never left. I've been in Vero ever since. I went and marketed to all the car dealerships, got every single job, and I've been here consistently.
That's amazing. Good for you. So have you always kind of been in some type of sales role, would you say? Okay.
Correct. When I was in high school in Michigan, we were able to take vocational education as part of your high school curriculum. So you were gone half the day if you chose to take vocational education. And I had pursued sales and marketing there. And that was really fun because it gave me so many tools. And there was so much collaboration with other creative minds that I've just taken that and run with it ever since.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Was there ever a job that you had that wasn't sales?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Although,
not that I don't do lots of administrative stuff and the paperwork and all that, those things exist.
They do.
Yet my main role, and even once I went on to get my
degree,
I know. I wish it wasn't.
Right. Adulting. Anyway.
Adulting. Always.
Continue. Yes.
When I went on to pursue my education, I did get my degree in. Originally, it was broadcasting, so I had pursued radio and broadcast journalism, and then went on to get a degree in business management. Yet all of those different things, I always minored in marketing, and in some way, shape, or form, it was always a part of it. Sales and marketing was a package.
Yeah. Well, they do say that no matter what you do, you're in some type of sales.
I would agree with that 100%.
Yeah, because you're selling yourself or you're selling an idea to get you to the next place at your job or, whatever it is, right?
Very
you have
valid.
To kind of know how to pitch people.
Well, and I think every job that you've ever taken, like even being a bartendress or waitress when I was in college and so forth, each of those things are tools and something that you will take with you as you continue on to your next levels of your career and professionalism.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just the way that capitalism goes. It's a beautiful thing. You don't lose that knowledge. It's good to keep it.
Correct. Yes. So you become your own resource in a lot of ways if you know how to tap into it and you remember kind of those things.
Like how to make a good cocktail. That was very important for today's broadcast.
It is really important. It's so delicious. If you missed the video where we made the cocktails, go back and watch the video where we made the cocktails.
Cheers. It's so yummy.
Does it have a name?
It's a coconut margarita.
Coconut margarita. There you go. Which I don't think I've ever had that combination. Coconut and tequila.
I'm so glad to make that happen for you.
You have, broadened my horizons. And
this is what I'm here for,
that,
darling.
I'm appreciative.
And for so much more. Enjoyed your vibe. This is so fun.
This is so fun. No, I mean, I feel like this could have happened long ago, but we're making it happen now.
Yes.
So yeah.
No time like the present.
Exactly. All right. So you were in Vero, taking it by storm, closing down bars, picking up business, and then somehow you landed with White Glove.
Yeah. I was pretty fortunate to join the White Glove team in 2013. In between, I had separated from my husband, though he is the father of our son who is getting ready to graduate from high school. Where does the time go?
Where does it go?
We're still friends to this day. It was just a lot to work together, raise a child together, all of those things. And then I went on to work in the liquor and wine sales for a while. I also did a stint in international marketing for a chemical valve manufacturer who was also headquartered here.
Oh, wow.
Or is headquartered here in Vero. And it was through some of those efforts that White Glove had seen me in action and eventually just came knocking on my door saying, I think it'd be a great fit. And I've been with them ever since.
That's fantastic. Very cool. So when you were making that kind of initial transition, you had been working with the automotive industry,
catering to the automotive industry through industrial painting, stucco,
right,
decorative concrete.
And then you worked with this chemical
valve manufacturer.
Yes, I will
who was
never
a
remember
big employer here in town. So it was a real honor. And in fact, we had created a local award and we were able to grant dollars for different youth organizations. It was really a fun time. And I honestly have no regrets. Though I was excited to not have to necessarily venture too far away from home because my son was so little. So to have White Glove's opportunity, though I'm sure I would have been great in the foreign markets.
Of course.
For
They would have loved
trade
you.
shows and things. It would have been fun.
But it would have required more travel, you're saying.
Yes.
Got it.
So this was really quite a gift.
Yeah, that worked out really well.
Yes.
What are some, well, I think I know, but you tell us in your own words, what are some of your favorite things that you get to do for your current job?
Well, representing White Glove Moving and Storage, I get to so often almost be a game show host when I'm doing presentations, right? I've always joked with people that I should have been a game show host in a past life.
You would be amazing at that, actually.
Right?
It's not too late. Life is long.
This is true. This is true. I mean, we all know how well Vanna White was doing. I mean, she did it for how many decades?
I don't even know, but I mean that girl, it was like almost cradle to grave, you know.
Right.
That was
she went from spinning letters to tapping letters. It was a big deal. Just saying.
I know.
But
then she became a co-host. She was able to say goodnight to the audience.
And transition.
You know what? She's laughing all the way to the bank. God bless her.
Amen. And in the fanciest of dresses. So that could have been a calling, but since it isn't presently, I create my own game shows everywhere I go, doing larger presentations, whether it's in front of a real estate association gathering where there could be upwards of 100 to 200 people, or more intimate sales office meetings where there's 10, 20, 30 people. I really make it fun and memorable. That's one of my favorite things to do. And I try not to repeat too many presentations, keep it fresh for the audience, make sure they're always...
and that gives you a creative outlet too.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you have a background in sales and marketing, part of that is I think you like to kind of come up with something new and fresh all the time.
Right.
And this gives you a way to continue to explore that constantly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they really allow me to take the messaging and run with it. So every year I come up with a different creative White Glove t-shirt.
Yes.
So I'm wearing
what she is modeling for us today. Yes, absolutely.
This is the original in 2018 when I came up with doing spoofs off of popular songs that can embrace the moving industry.
I love it so much. All right, so tell the people at home what your shirt says.
Okay, so this one is we like fake trucks and we can lie. Little Sir Mix-a-Lot.
You all know that song.
Yeah. And then I've done Salt and Pepper and Britney Spears. Last year I did Elvis.
Oh, what was that one?
We're all packed up.
I don't know what that is.
All Shook Up by Elvis.
Oh, of course.
But instead of shook up, we're all packed up.
Yeah.
Well, it starts with I'm proud to say the White Glove moved us. I'm in love. I'm all packed up.
That's so cute.
And it was my mom's 60th birthday, and she's a big Elvis fan, so I wanted to make sure I had an Elvis shirt to commemorate her new decade.
Oh, that's very nice.
And then this year is a spoof off of Nancy Sinatra. These boots are made for walking.
Oh, nice.
Yep, I have these men are made for moving, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, a White Glove is gonna help to move you too.
I love that so much. Do you guys turn these into like real jingles?
No. I just sing them when I present them and give them away.
I feel like you should.
Oh, really?
Then it could be like everybody's ringtone. And then you know, you could play it at the beginning and end of your radio show or something.
How clever. Good stuff. This is why she's a marketing bro.
We're collaborating, you know? We can all feed off of each other's energy or whatever.
Yes, that's what it's about. Yeah.
This might also be a good time to share that there will be a little excerpt either in this video or the other video of the lovely piano that Anna's strapping young men helped to move across the state for me. So
it's a beautiful piano.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And you play it incredibly well.
I do not.
I think it sounded lovely.
That is not accurate at all, but I'm trying to warm up the rusty fingers again. So it helps to have a spouse who understands what you do and vice versa, right?
I'm happy to have that round 2 was really successful.
Good work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
How did you meet round 2?
Let's see. Michael and I met at a Christmas party
Oh, fun.
for my dearest gal pal,
Mhm.
who had me catering her party for her, if you will. And my son
She
and
put
I.
you to work too?
She did.
You have to stop being so nice to people, Anna. I've got you making drinks. She has you catering dinners. I mean, there's no rest for the weary here.
It was so worth it, though. I met a husband out the deal.
Oh, well, that's true.
Did
she like to rub that in?
I was unconvinced that I was going to give him the time of day, honestly. And then he played her in a game of pool once my son and I had left. And so I was like in a red dress. My son was in a red tie with his little suit. And he's like 6.5 or so at the time. And he played her in a game of pool to get my phone number. And she's like, I don't think she wants to. And needless to say, we went on our first lunch date and we were married within 8 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Mhm.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Did you guys do like a courthouse wedding
Oh,
or you did the
no.
whole shenanigan?
Yeah, we did a whole fishing themed wedding
Oh my gosh,
with
how
our friends and
fun.
made it really cool. And who would have known that then fast forward 6 years, COVID would hit, and then we would take this whole fishing concept to the next level and then ultimately conquer every river in the state of Florida as a result. Pretty cool.
So tell me about that.
Yeah. Well, COVID,
Right.
like,
That
made
happened.
it impossible
Yes.
to fish in any of our favorite places. In fact, I did not realize
Why is that?
well, because most of our favorite fishing spots are owned by Florida State Park. Okay, so just to the north of us is the Sebastian
Inlet State.
Sebastian Inlet State Park.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
However, it's far-reaching. It goes all the way down to 510, more or less.
Okay.
Little pockets of it.
Yeah.
So like some of it was just caution taped out.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because there were no park employees working,
Correct.
so they just kind of had everything locked.
They said,
Yeah.
and Florida State Parks were any Florida-owned property was some of the first to close.
Mm.
And so, and they had law enforcement out regulating this.
Oh, wow.
And I looked at my boys and I said, well, I guess we better buy a boat. And my husband says, you heard her, Charles. Let's go. And off to the Bass Pro we went. And then we got a cute little 16-foot Sun Tracker bass buggy.
Oh, fantastic.
So it had like 2 fishing seats and a live well. And Mother's Day 2020
Mm-hmm.
was our inaugural voyage.
Nice.
And I said, I love this so much. And it was Mother's Day, so of course they're like catering to me nonstop and loving on me. And I said, we should go down every river in the state of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Without realizing at that time that there were more than 100 rivers.
Are there really? I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that shouldn't surprise me. It's such a waterlogged state.
Valid.
Mm-hmm.
And with the urban growth that is happening at such rapid pace,
Yes.
when I initially started and created my spreadsheet and all my color coding.
This was a plan. This was a strategic initiative that you were
once
putting
I
together.
said it out loud,
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
there were 103 rivers. Yet in the course of that 4.5 years, additional rivers popped up. Some weren't ever on the maps, and they just kind of appeared once we were in those bodies of water. Regardless, it was 140 when we came to a close.
Wow. That's fantastic because it's like you said, there was stuff that kind of started appearing once you got out there that you had no idea existed. So in a lot of ways, you guys were kind of your own explorers.
In so many ways.
Yeah. And kind of Christopher or Columbus, watch out.
Right, because we did it with a lot more pizzazz and always with the dog in tow.
Perfect.
And our first, I did a recap and
what kind of dog do you have?
a chocolate lab.
Oh,
His name is Seeker, named after Bob Seeker, who just celebrated his 80th birthday. Woo woo.
Oh my God.
I'm a Michigan girl. I can't take it out of me.
Can't take it out of you. So you and the boys and the dog are all traversing the rivers, and you literally visited 140.
That is correct. And
Wow.
I have to admit, some were better than others.
Uh-huh.
Some were more navigatable than others.
Mhm.
We met interesting characters along the way.
I bet.
We experienced some cool festivals, lots of live music, lots of different accents, So, I mean, to sum it up, it is hard to do, yet I had this canvas created and I did a recap and put those little flag push pins and numbered them all so it coordinated in alphabetical order with the rivers.
Okay.
And it's so interesting when you see the clusters of where massive amounts of rivers are in the state of Florida, like in the Everglades, up towards Jacksonville, the western part of the Panhandle, like massive amounts. Where we are, you're going to have big, long rivers in different zones, yet not the same density as what you're going to find in other areas.
Right.
Regardless, I put it all together, and my recap says it took 4.5 years.
Wow.
We went through 2 dogs. So we had a chocolate lab named Nemo, and he passed in 21. And then we got Seeger Christmas of 21.
Okay. So he's still kind of a puppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And very strong. And a strong swimmer. Oh, my goodness. You can't keep him on the pontoon. He just jumps right into the river.
Just dives right in.
Peter, what? He's not even afraid.
Oh, my gosh.
I know.
That gives me PTSD.
Your Pomeranian couldn't handle it, honey.
He could. No.
He'd be an appetizer.
He's not a swimming dog.
No.
This we accept about him, yes.
Right. Just leave him fluffy and handsome right where he is.
That's right. Yes.
So 2 dogs, 3 shelters. Initially, we had like a large cabin pop-up tent.
Okay.
And then it met its
that
demise.
You could pack into the boat.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
So the boat was basically storage.
Yeah.
And it met its demise after the 9th month.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. It was quite the series of unfortunate events that
was it all a little dramatic?
It was very much so.
Oh, no.
And it was at the Three Rivers State Park, which is right on the Florida-Georgia line. I always like to use my hand. I can only live in states where I can use my hand. This is Michigan, and then this is Florida. And so it was like right up here. And it was series. So anyways, we ended up finding our first sliding camper. It slides right into the bed of the pickup.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And it was kind of like a pop-up. So it was real compact. And then it would pop up an extra few feet when she needed to get in it and sleep and move about, prep some dinner, what have you.
Okay.
And then we got our 3rd one, which is now a hardtop one. No additional pop-up. We still use and love. You can take it for concerts. It's real easy.
Nice.
So setup used to go with the tent for like 2 hours.
Oh my God.
Now it's like 2 minutes. It's so much different.
Upgrade.
But
you have to start where you can start, right?
That's right.
Like anything in life.
And
then
our
you
son was so young, and it was great team building, right? Like everybody had their steps, and everybody knew their place. And so we had 2 dogs, 3 camping shelters, 2 boat trailers, and an entire high school career. From the time my son was in 9th grade to now graduation, we were out on the rivers.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so what does he think of all of it? Is this something that he would continue to do you think? Or has he been worn out by visiting 140 rivers?
I think that he loves his parents very much. And now he has his own boat.
Oh, great.
And he goes out all the time, and I'm not invited. Yeah. So there's that.
That's unfortunately part of the growing up process, I think.
Though I believe that we gave him all the confidence. I mean, I didn't know too many young men at the age of, 10, 11 that was backing up boats, backing up trailers. I mean, he was doing really great. I mean, he just got it right away.
Yeah.
And so I believe that we gave him a lot of that water confidence by doing it so frequently.
Well, and I think what you said is so important because no matter what the skill set is, be it a boat, water, driving, hunting, whatever it is that you are teaching your kids to do, if you teach them to really be proficient at something, as you said, the confidence is something that they can carry over into anything that they do. Yes. Like, I didn't know how to do this, and then I learned how to do it. Now I can do it well. I could probably tackle something else, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So it's pretty empowering to see. Proud mom.
Good job, Mom. Yeah. So he will be leaving for college? No. Keeping him close?
Go to college.
Okay.
However, the Florida Institute of Technology is within 50-mile radius, and they say that you can still live at home or live off campus if you're within 50 miles.
Okay, great.
And so that's a nice savings to not have to pay for that additional.
Yeah, don't go into debt if you don't need to, right?
The educational loan will probably, be a new expense that we're not familiar with, and happy to do it.
Right.
With every penny.
Of course.
Yet I think that there's a part of him that really enjoys coming home and having all of his laundry done and dinner made and snacks pre-prepped.
Well, now I'm getting jealous.
Well, I mean, who doesn't want that? It's a good thing.
Right.
He's our only one, so it makes sense.
Yeah. So as you carry forward in your career, you've conquered the rivers, you are rocking and rolling with the moving company. Yeah. You're also very involved with the Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, yeah.
And
many of them.
Well, that's true. So let's talk about kind of the swath of networking organizations that you support and also run yourself. Yes.
I firmly believe in the power of networking. Mm-hmm. I believe that, especially in our Treasure Coast community, which is different, it does feel small town while also having some of the bigger town offerings, that people prefer and want to do business with someone that's more of a warm lead than a complete stranger.
Yeah.
And I think that networking gives you that opportunity because it's not just about who you meet and doing a transaction with them necessarily. It's about consistency, earning their confidence, and then thereby their referrals for people they know in their own circles.
Right.
And so now it becomes this, oh, I've got this gal that I know really well who could help move you, versus I'm just going to go online and look up cheap movers.
And hope for the best. Right. Yeah. Well, and I think also, I know you say this all the time, but moving is a very stressful time. One of the, what do they say, top 3 or top 5 most stressful things that you do in life. So when you're stressed out and you're concerned about all of your personal belongings and things that could potentially go wrong, right? You want to feel more comfortable and confident that should there be an issue, you know who you're talking to and you can come to them, kind of thing.
Yes, and things will be solved and rectified, and there's peace of mind in that. And so I love the fact that I have the opportunity to do all this networking, build a lot of relationships. It's also on me to ensure that our online presence is strong, that we're keeping, all of those things are important, right? Because there are going to be plenty of people who just Google.
Right. But it's the marketing mix, as they say, right? It's all the
those
things.
Components. And none of them sleep.
Nope. You get 24/7.
Yes,
24/7 on the internet. Yep.
So I belong to all of the chambers of commerce as it spans from Sebastian to Martin County. I belong to all the realtor associations in the same stretch of land.
Okay, real quick for the naive amongst us. Martin County is south of St. Lucie County?
Liz.
Okay.
And north of Palm Beach County.
And what towns are in Martin County?
You're going to have Stewart, Jensen Beach, Palm City, Hobe Sound,
Jupiter,
Indiantown. Jupiter Island is part of Martin County. However, Jupiter itself is Palm Beach.
Okay. County. All right. Got it. So, yes, that's a large territory.
Right. And then St. Lucie County has Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce. And, of course, here in Indian River County, Fellsmere, Sebastian, and Vero.
Yeah. So just a few things. You put a lot of mile on your car.
Yeah. I named him Tomas after Tom Petty.
Love that.
And I talk to him every day to take me kindly to where I need to go.
Besties.
We are. We're super close. And when he's acting up, for whatever reason, I call him Larry. Thing.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, you know, when you're a road warrior, right? It's kind of like the cowboys and their horses, you know? Your car is your means to earn a living, and you guys are dependent on each other.
That's right. And we talk it out every day. Every day. Come on, Tomas. We got places to go.
That's right. I love that. So locally, because, you know, for better or worse, I a little bit maybe have been living in mostly the Vero bubble now for a while, though we've got some clients now up north and a couple down south. You're very involved with the Indian River County Chamber.
Very much so.
And before me, you helped to keep the Young Professionals Network going and rolling and rocking. And do you want to share anything about kind of your experience maybe as a young professional or...
Well, I was at the forefront of the creation of the Young Professionals Network at the Chamber, and we owned our business. It was right here on Main Street. In fact, I also helped to spearhead the original design district and the gallery stroll
Wow.
Yep. That was really fun and a great time to be downtown.
Yeah. Tell people really quick about the design district. It doesn't get as much recognition sometimes.
Right. So the design district is basically everything south of State Road 60. And it spans from Old Dixie west to 20th Avenue. And it now has an overlay where artists can use their homes, and most of them are historic, as a working studio as well as living quarters. And on that stretch of 14th Avenue, we really used that to help propel the design studios, the artist studios that were there. We had a decorative concrete studio and eco-friendly paint store at the time when all of this was spearheading.
Oh, that makes sense. Yep.
Yes. And so we got together and collaborated. Gallery 14 was there. At the time it was where the Vero Beach Art Club is. It was Tiger Lily. And we had all come together, went to city council meetings, did all the things that we could get this a set date, a set time, have people look forward to it. And it's really worked. And having been in the wine business,
yes,
I was able to bring white wines because all the artists and their studios only want white wine. And so we were able to get.
Oh, that's so funny. So that it doesn't spill.
On budget. Yeah. Yes. The museum says the same thing, you know. And when you go into the museum and you ever have drinks,
particularly noticed that, but that makes a lot of sense.
It does.
It does. Yeah.
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 So we really loved all of those things. I mean, my heart is with Main Street and downtown, and I was active with the chamber there. In fact, I hosted one of the first Coffee with the Mayors.
Did you?
In my studio.
Oh my gosh, fantastic. Was that with Laura Moss?
No, honey, even way before that.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
okay.
21 years ago.
So, so you have founded a lot of things, it kind of sounds like, and your whole river exploration journey. I mean, that was kind of something that you dreamed up and put together the pieces and figured it out. So I would call you very entrepreneurial, even though you do work for a larger organization. What do you think kind of drives you? Because you take on a lot.
Yeah. Well, because I feel like I can. You know, they always say give more work to the busiest person.
If you need something done, ask a busy person.
Right.
Yeah.
Something like that. I just know that I really, I started my own women's networking group.
Yeah. We haven't even gotten to talk about that yet.
Right.
That's a huge thing that you do for a lot of people.
And it's called the Treasure Coast Premier Women's Network. And I saw, and we expanded during COVID. So initially I was just in Vero, and there was a time we were inside what was then called Regency in the ballroom. We would sell out at 100 women.
Wow.
And it was always still the second Friday of every month when I had first started.
Okay. How many years ago?
8.
Okay. Excellent.
And then we expanded when COVID came because all the chambers shut down, yet restaurants were open. So I teamed up with women-owned restaurants and just continued the
I didn't know you specifically sought out women-owned restaurants.
Yes.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Do you still kind of do that?
Of course.
Yeah.
And they're still my home.
Yeah. So tell us which cities now have Treasure Coast Premier Women's Network that they can visit.
Yeah. And it's just the cost of lunch, no annual overhead. I believe that there is a spot for chambers and all the organizations, especially if your industry has an association, you should be a part of it. Yet I believe that there's also a fit for women supporting women in business. Not all the ladies who attend our luncheons are actually business owners. Some of them just want to support other women in business and have camaraderie.
Great. Yeah.
It does make it nice. So the first Tuesday of every month is Port St. Lucie. The second Friday of every month is Twisted Lime in Vero. And the third Wednesday in Stewart is at Michelina's. And different ones have different caps based on attendance because of the size of the venue.
Sure.
Yet I believed, and there was another group in Martin County that had to dissolve, and they actually gave me and my group the endorsement and the opportunity to take over their mailing list and so forth. And they said that, Anna, nobody quite cares about seeing other people succeed as much as you do.
What a wonderful endorsement.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I just think that having seen so much and in such diversity from a geographic standpoint, from where I was born and raised to where I feel fortunate to be and to have raised my son. And I feel as though being able to lift others up is one of the best ways, to feel good about your day.
Yes.
Yeah, also to earn the opportunity to be someone that they can know, like, and trust. Because no one has to like anybody.
Absolutely.
Nor do they have to give you business.
Nope.
Nor do they have to attend.
Nope.
And so I just feel as though I take it on because I know I can do it justice and make sure that everybody feels like they're appreciated. You know, you've been to these events and things, high school included, where it's very cliquey and it's this and that. And I think to myself, oh no, I want everyone to feel the love. I want to delve out the sunshine. You know, I want to just try and keep people happy.
That is a worthwhile cause. Yeah. Because, you know, then we all benefit, right? If you're giving to other people and then they're having a better day and their business is doing better, then they're able to turn around and support you better and support their community better, right? It's so cliche, but it's like the rising tide lifts all boats, right?
It's so valid.
So do you have kind of anything fresh on the horizon? Oh, we didn't even talk about your radio show. Oh, talk about that.
Yeah. Let's see. For the past 16 years.
I need a list of all the things that you're doing, Anna.
Well, I've been hosting my own radio show, and it's evolved over time. When I first started, it was Valencia's View, and it kind of spun off of my... I had a little variety show on our local cable network for a minute. And so the radio show was kind of like a side component to that.
Okay.
And then from Valencia's View, it became... what was my second title? I don't know, but now it's called the Treasure Coast Insider. Oh, that was the Vero Insider, and now it's the Treasure Coast Insider.
Got it. Yes.
Yes.
We're expanding.
And I cover where to go, what to try, and how to give back throughout the Treasure Coast. And it allows my guests to kind of fall in any category, right? If there's someone that does business with us and they want to highlight their business and also a passion project, it's a great format. A lot of not-for-profits, of course, need funding. I can't write a check to everybody.
Right. But you can give them a little bit of a platform. Yeah, absolutely.
And so that certainly helps. And that's really where we focus. It's all positive. No politics, nothing too against the grain. It's all uplifting.
Right. We're not trying to be spicy. We're just trying to encourage the people, encourage the business, encourage the nonprofits.
That's right.
Yeah.
Lift everybody up. That's what we're doing.
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
What happens next in life?
Well, I'm looking forward to doing exactly what I'm doing at the moment. I see
awesome.
I've got it all figured out. I don't feel as frazzled. You know, this is a new stage where I'm not going to have to be worried about getting my son to and from after school programs or all the different things, or I can't commit to different boards because they meet too early in the morning because I'd have to get my son to school. Or so it's going to be a change for me. I'm still figuring out that work-life balance. I do a lot of MC work, so I give of my time and talent to a lot of not-for-profits for their galas and fundraising events on the evenings and weekends. So I feel as though I have that energy still to do it for a minute, and then I'll re-examine a little bit down the road.
If you ever were to perhaps retire, maybe, do you have kind of a ideal destination, or what would that look like for you if you weren't kind of right in the hustle and bustle as much?
Well, having been with my team for so long, I do have a fair amount of flexibility during our off season. And
is that summer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So we're the opposite. So nationwide, most moving companies are the busiest during summer, whereas in the state of Florida, we're the exact opposite.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So our goal now is to go to all 50 United States and do a little visit. It doesn't have to be the entire state, obviously. Just like with my rivers. I said just the tip counts, and sometimes that's dish. So, you know, we're going to have that fun new experience and just kind of savor the changes, and then I'll see what happens next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's good.
Well, Anna, tell people where they can find you and get plugged in with all the very cool things that you're doing.
Thanks. Well, you can always check out the Treasure Coast Insider.us. That's our website for the radio station. And I have links within there to all of the other fun stuff that we have going on, from the ladies' luncheon to White Glove Love, and links to river roaming and all the stuff that goes with it.
Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Captain Morgan, thank you.
This was so nice.
This has been fabulous.
And I am still really enjoying my coconut margarita. So everyone, go show Anna some love. You can also find her on Facebook and all the socials and things like that. Visit her website, see all the cool stuff she's doing. Visit her at one of her lunches, and hopefully we will see you again soon.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks, everybody.